Hey kids, welcome once again to another Monster Mondays. I'm gonna go away from the idea of monsters in horror and go for fantasy. Uh, lot of especially if they're supernatural in nature, monsters in horror movies is a fantasy element. But I'm talking about some something that's purely a fantasy, fantasy adventure type of situation. And I have selected some of my favorites. Uh, I did not go see Dragon Slayer when it came out, but I saw it on cable, and I was amazed at the depiction of the dragon. Uh, they used a technique called go motion, which is obsolete. Uh, it creates a blur. There's slight movement in the model when a picture is taken, a frame is taken. And apparently it's very time consuming and very expensive. So they got rid of that and they use, digital means for stop motion blur. Uh, but I watched this movie. I saw this dragon going down a hallway, and at first I thought it has to be a guy in a suit because it's moving too naturally. And then I realized the anatomy was completely wrong. Uh, then found out about go motion, which was used a lot. Industrial Light and Magic used it in Empire Strikes Back, but this that one particular shot of that dragon running down the hallway of his cave or her cave uh, is just the best I've seen that technique in. Still in the 80s, this movie I did go see, Crawl. Crawl. Yeah, that wonderful crystal spider. Absolutely wonderful. Once again, stop motion animation. Uh, I don't know too much about it, the background of this, but yeah, it's a wonderful visual, and of course, it's a you know don't want to mess with any type of giant spiders. And the next one is probably the very first monsters I'd seen in a fantasy movie, especially since it's probably one of the first fantasy movies I've ever seen. And that's Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz used to play every Easter, if I remember. And what I'm talking about is these chimp looking creatures that are blue and have wings. And the wings are strong enough to actually make them fly. Yep, the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. Next one, wonderful. It's mostly that it's the wonderful visual depiction of the Balrog in the Lord of the Rings, uh, Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, that was just a stunning look, and I that's one of the reasons why I love it. Uh, Going back to a previous video, I had said that one of things that primal fear I have is being eaten. Uh, I was in absolutely horror and terror when I first watched the seventh voyage of Sinbad, and the Cyclops slaps this guy onto a pit above a fire, and just I realized that he was going to be eaten, and that really kind of freaked me out. So the Cyclops from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad does get a big nod from me. Uh, Staying with Harryhausen, uh, his very last movie, Clash of the Titans, the Medusa. Uh, Now, snakes in the hair. Harryhausen decides a design that she's part snake, and she's just kind of scary looking. But of course, Percy is, you know, she gave him head. Oh, I wanna look up this name. Okay, the next one is from Legend, the Bog Witch, Meg Mucklebones. Yep, Meg Knucklebones. I couldn't get a full picture shot. I couldn't find any, but yeah, Meg is quite a character. Just that get up alone, the makeup should have earned Rob Bottin his first Oscar. I don't think he's got a single Oscar. That's Rob Bottin we're talking about. I don't get it. But yeah, Meg Mucklebones, played by this guy. You might not have known that. Let's see. Oh, the next one. This little guy is kind of cute. From John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, that floating eyeball thing. Yeah, yeah, he was a good one. Yeah, I liked how he spied on them and everything. Ah, the next one is pretty brutal. The Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. Uh, Doug Jones. You know, yeah, the many creatures that Doug Jones has played throughout the universe. This is one of his best, The Pale Man. It's kind of a fairy tale, I guess that falls into the fantasy thing, and plus it's a very dramatic film. Uh, this boy is dealing with something, and this monster appears, and the monster is actually helpful. It's not a scary. It's big, so he's sort of initially scary, but he's there to do good for this boy. And last but not least, Thalos, the living bronze statue, proper Harryhausen size too, uh, and Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, that is one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in my life. He's perched onto a platform like a statue. He has a statue, and holding the sword, and I think Hercules is down there, and Percy is, or not Percy is, but Jason. Uh, and all of a sudden, he looks down at them. It's like, then comes off of its little pedestal and starts walking around, and it's like, okay, it's time to just get the fuck out of there. I'm sorry, but that movie or that sequence is hilarious. Well, that's it for now. And as usual, stay safe and always have a good time. Until next time, Charles T. Cochran is signing off.